The Wolves football season is over, and head coach Todd Knight will be here to give us a view from the sidelines. The spring semester is coming soon, and with it the start of the baseball season. We'll learn more about how Newberry's team is getting ready. And the town of Newberry rang in the holiday season with a festive tree lighting. Our team brings you a look at the fun. All this and more coming up on this edition of Wolves Weekly. From the Langford Center studios at Newberry College, this is Wolves Weekly. I'm Al Della Chica. On November 16th, the Wolves football season ended with a loss to Emory and Henry at Setzler Field. The Wolves ended the season with 3 wins and 7 losses and dealt throughout the season with injuries to key players, the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, and other factors that complicated their efforts. Head football coach Todd Knight stopped by the studio to give us a look back at the 2024 season. Paul Fisher has the interview.
As the 2024 academic fall semester finishes up, so does the athletic year. The Newberry Wolves football team went 3-7 and finished out the season that way. There was a lot of factors that contributed to this, including the hurricane, injuries, awkward bye weeks, and things of the sort. Here to tell us a little bit about the season and things to hope for next season as well is head coach Todd Knight. How are you today, Coach?
Doing good, Paul. Appreciate you having us on today.
It's our pleasure. Excited for it.
It's been a while since I've been over here at the studio. Got a really cool setup, and I think you guys have done a great job with the Wolves Weekly this year. Really
appreciate that. We do. We've had a whole lot of fun. Had a lot of fun traveling with you guys and covering it as well.
I really have enjoyed it as well, and I really appreciate the piece that you did on my family. That was really cool.
That was an awesome story. So tell us a little bit kind of about this season, and in your opinion, what you think was some of the biggest adversity that you all faced.
Well, I think every year, every team has its own unique identity, Paul, and some of them are tougher than others. Some of them are more athletic than others. It's just that makeup throughout the camp, in the locker room, that kind of thing. I think this team had a lot of adversity to overcome. I think scheduling-wise, to start off with, it was a very, very challenging schedule when you open up with 2 top 5 teams in the country, and you look at them right now, both of them are still undefeated and in the top 3. So that is a huge challenge to go out and try to get it rolling early against opponents like that. And I think the second thing that kind of added to that was the injury bug. It bit us early and often. That very first ball game, we lost 2 kids to season-ending injuries in the very first ball game. So a lot to overcome. I know you touched on the hurricane. That's a tough thing to deal with because it affected everybody, not just football, but it truly played its toll on us from a team standpoint. We had a ball game that week that we felt very confident about. We'd just come off of a big road win at Tusculum where we'd hung 50 on them. And looking forward to playing UVA-Wise, they had just lost to Catawba, and then we beat Catawba. So it was a ball game that we felt like, we had a great shot at winning. And, maybe that could have given us a little more momentum as we go along. But, just like the injury bug, you can't control it. And hurricanes coming through Newberry, that's a rarity and something that definitely nobody could have controlled.
Definitely not.
But I think things like that, big picture-wise, at certain positions maybe we didn't perform quite as well as I wanted us to. But I think when you go back and you look at 2 or 3 really big factors, it had a lot to do with the way our season went. And, early on in the year, scheduling, injury bug all the way through it, and then a hurricane. Nobody can control any of that. Yeah. So you tough year for the kids, tough year for the coaches, but a very resilient crowd, both kids and coaches. And, already we've kind of shifted gears and we're into recruiting mode at this point and trying to build that next team going into the off season when we report back at the end of January.
Touch on that a little bit for me. You mentioned how the injury bug hit early, and in some positions you were even seeing third and fourth string players, really young guys. So now you have kind of a look at their talent, at the way that they'll play and things like that. So where do you think you are at, or the team is at, heading into the offseason?
Well, I think you see it in two big positions. One, the quarterback spot. We had some older kids that were in there battling for the 1 and the 2 spot at the Q. And then those guys got hurt, so we had a true freshman that we played in 3 ball games, but didn't want to burn his redshirt year, so we kind of backed off of that. But he's kind of the heir apparent right now to it. But he's still got a lot of maturing and growing up and learning the position. Hopefully, some of the older kids that got banged up can make it back in the offseason. And we've seen the same type thing happen in the secondary. The very first ball game, we lost a weak side safety to a season-ending injury. Then the strong side safety got banged up and couldn't make it back. Grad school kid, portal kid, then a starting corner that was a portal got jammed up too. So those 2 spots really hurt us. But some young kids came in, showed us what they're capable of. So I think, being a little patient, letting them grow in the program. We didn't have that luxury, but at least you get to see what they really can do at an early age.
Definitely, and we definitely got to look at them all throughout the season, something to be excited for next season. We really appreciate your time being on here. We appreciate the passion that you have with your group of guys, and truly hoping to come back and have a better season. We appreciate all
nobody hates it more than me. Nobody wants to win more than me. And, when you have a season like this, I personally feel like I've let Newberry College down. And that's not a good feeling for me. And I'm going to go back in the offseason and do everything humanly possible to get this thing turned around so we can have more pride about it, about my program, and more pride here at Newberry College.
Wolves Weekly will be back in just a moment.
Where did the time go? I don't know how I got here.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
My dad was a farmer. The guy was bigger than life. He wasn't someone that liked to show his emotion or liked to show when he was struggling, but we all struggle. I want to show emotion to my kids. It's something that brings me so much joy, and I want them to see me working through things. Allow your kids to know that it's okay to struggle, that even dad doesn't know the answer sometimes, but we're gonna figure it out together.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5.
Okay.
Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Before you know it, it'll be the end of January, and with it, the start of the Newberry baseball season. The Wolves will start the season with 2 games against Barton College, then come back for the home opener against Emmanuel University at the Smith Road Complex on February 4th. What's in store for the baseball players this year? Producer Caleb Barr and his team spent some time with them, and here's what they found.
Heading into the spring semester, Newberry College is gearing up for an exciting time. Also getting ready is their baseball team, with the new head coach, Jay Snyder. Snyder joined the Newberry baseball program in 2008, being promoted to associate head coach in 2014. Snyder takes over Russell Triplett's position, who won 418 games, 2 South Atlantic Conference titles, and appeared in the NCAA tournament twice, leaving Snyder with some big shoes to fill. But Newberry College Director of Athletics Sean Johnson claims that Snyder is the right person to continue the legacy of excellence on and off the field. Faculty has also stated that Snyder is an integral part of the Wolves family and committed to the success of the students. We spoke to some players on the team on their thoughts on going into next year and how they got to be at Newberry College's baseball team.
I started playing baseball when I was around 3 or 4 years old, and I grew up in the Central Florida area, so I pretty much played there my entire life. And then right around my junior year of high school, I came here to Newberry for a baseball camp and did all right, kind of stayed on their radar a little bit, and this ended up being the only place that offered me to play here, and it was an opportunity I couldn't pass up, and I'm forever grateful for this place. It means everything to me.
Started playing when I was young, probably like 4 or 5 years old. Both my brothers play, so they kind of got me into baseball. Out of high school, Newberry was really one of the only schools that recruited me. Coach Nyes called me every day almost and just tell me how much they wanted me and how much they wanted me here. My brother also played here, so that kind of helped me get here and want to come here and know about it. So that's pretty much how I got here.
I started playing when I was 3 years old. I have 2 older brothers that also played, and they got me into playing. I grew up in Puerto Rico my whole life, and around my sophomore year of high school, I decided to transfer to North Myrtle Beach High School and decided to continue my career in there in high school. And my senior year of high school, that's when I got recruited by Newberry, and I got to visit here. I got to meet the coaches, and it just felt like back home. So I just felt like this was the right place for me to come, and that's why I decided to come here.
Coach Snyder, head coach, said he recruited me more as a hitter going into it, but with the coaching here and just everything about this place, I felt like I've developed a lot of different aspects of my game and got them a lot better. And honestly, I just try to do the best I can and use the skills to the best of my ability to help my team win baseball games.
Probably my biggest strength, I would say fielding. I got recruited here. I have pretty good hands, I would say. I try to make plays. Also, just being loud and communicate on the field. I feel like I can talk to my teammates, just make them feel at home.
I'd say my biggest strength as a player, probably my competitiveness. I feel like every time I go out there, I'm going to compete no matter what, give it my all. And just like the mental side of the game, I feel like I've grown a lot with that since I've been here, just going out there every time, feeling like I'm better than the person that's across from me and always just competing every time I'm out there.
Going into the spring, the baseball team's first game is January 31st at 2 p.m. against Barton College. Along with their new head coach, Newberry has Corey Singh as their new assistant baseball coach. Snyder says he is thrilled to have him. A recent graduate with a Master's of Arts in 2024, Singh is praised for his loyalty, character, and drive to develop players. Caleb Barr, NCTV.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
Okay.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
You're not gonna get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable.
The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kids should know.
When I arrived in the U.S. at 19, I struggled to find job opportunities without a high school diploma. Everything I have, my education, my career, my marriage, I owe to the Adult Literacy Center and my teachers.
Your achievement has set an example for so many students. Most importantly, your daughter.
Education was the key that unlocked all my opportunities.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free adult education centers near you.
Adding your own flavor to fashion comes with age.
Okay, Dad, look at you.
Forgetting how to add doesn't. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's. Some things come with age, some others don't.
NCTV, Newberry.
While the main focus on Wolves Weekly is what's happening in Newberry Athletics, from time to time we do want to take a look at the place that's our home and give you an idea of what it's like to be part of this community. And with the holidays coming up, it's a perfect time to take a moment and be thankful for this town we call home. Last Friday evening, Newberry held a ceremony to welcome in the holiday season. Producers Cornelia Rutkowska and Paul C. Fisher and Victor Hennian bring you this glimpse into a very special evening.
Every year, on the Friday before Thanksgiving, the city of Newberry holds the Very Berry Christmas event. There are many activities for people of all ages to engage in. The evening started with a performance by the NB5 Newberry Brass Quintet, and then the Newberry County Schools Children's Choir. All before lighting up the tree.
Thank you for coming tonight. Please be sure to explore downtown.
The event brought up the whole city. We even met a couple who recently moved to Newberry.
Oh my goodness, this is amazing. Who knew this little town had so many people? It's so Americana right now. It's just beautiful down here with the tree lighting and all that and all the people. It's such an active, vibrant community that we didn't even know was here. It's amazing.
It felt like it was like a walk back in time. You know, it really did.
I feel like it brings the Newberry community together and it helps everybody connect on one thing, such as Christmas. And everyone also gets to know people they might not have normally known, and we also can support small businesses here.
I definitely think it brings them together. Getting to see everyone, getting to meet up with your friends and your family definitely brings everyone together, and it definitely makes this community so tight-knit.
I think my favorite part of the whole event was getting to mix and mingle with different people of the community. I got to see some really sweet kids. We got to walk around and just meet new people as a whole.
And this was even the perfect date for young college couples.
I appreciate that a lot. It's very affordable. It's a very fun thing to do. It's just a good experience to have when you're just in a town, you know.
Good to celebrate the holiday season.
Paul C. Fisher, NCTV.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. So if you want to talk to your kids, you have to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
Jason, let's go see your room.
That's not right. How was it? Is it good?
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
It's something about having that piece of paper. Some people think that's worth more than my skills.
I've run this place for 20 years, but I still need to prove that I'm more than what you see on paper.
You just gotta be so good they can't ignore you.
It's the way my mind works. I have a very mechanical brain.
Analytics and empathy. That's how I've gained clients.
I am more.
I'm more
than who I am on paper.
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Thanks for hearing me out, bro.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it. No way.
No way.
No way. No way. My kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org.
Welcome back to Wolves Weekly, along with Paul Fisher. Now let's get to the scoreboard and get you caught up with all the action that took place over the past week. In men's basketball, the Wolves tried to continue the two-game winning streak to start the season against Lenore-Rhine last Wednesday, but after a seesaw affair, the Wolves ended up on the short side of the scoreboard, 83-79. Down the stretch, the Bears hit 4 consecutive free throws to seal the deal as time ran out. The loss drops Newberry to 2-1, while the Bears improved to 3-2 on the season. A scheduled game against Lincoln Memorial University on Saturday was postponed. So this week, the Wolves will be back in action playing at Tusculum, and then they'll go on a road trip to play 2 games against the University of Alaska at Anchorage this coming weekend.
For the women, the team were looking to improve on a 1-3 start to the season with their home opener against Lenore-Rhine on Wednesday. They did not disappoint. The Wolves, behind a strong performance by Jess Tompkins and Hannah Nimmo, defeated the Bears 61-53 at Eliezer Arena.
And then on Saturday in Tennessee, the women were able to take the court against the Rail Splitters of Lincoln Memorial. And even though the Wolves entered the fourth and final quarter trailing by only 3 points, LMU outplayed them 18-12 in the final frame to win it 62-53. The loss leaves the Wolves at 2-4 on the season, and they'll also play Tusculum midweek and will host Emory and Henry this Saturday.
And last week, junior outside hitter Kate Brown from the volleyball team and junior linebacker Devron Williams were named the Newberry College South Carolina Army National Guard Players of the Week. Brown helped the Wolves to a 2-1 victory while winning 8 out of the 14 sets. She had 36 kills, 37 digs, 4 blocks, and a service ace. Brown's season-high tying 14 kills and a .303 hitting percentage led the Wolves to a 3-1 season-ending victory over Emory and Henry. In addition to her 12 kills and a 5 road set victory over Catawba. In the 3 seasons she's been here, Brown has 365 kills and digs. On the other side, Williams, meanwhile, led the Wolves' defense against Emory and Henry with 10 total tackles, including a quarterback sack and a pass breakup. He was part of the unit that limited the Wasps to 62 yards on 33 rushing attempts. On the final drive of the first half, Williams' sack on second down at the 15-yard line eventually forced the Wasps to attempt the 43-yard field goal, which they missed. That's what led to the tie leading into halftime.
And don't forget, you can always find the latest news and information about Newberry College athletics at newberrywolves.com. There you can find team rosters, game schedules, ticket information, and even links to buy official team merchandise to show your support for the Newberry Wolves. All this and more is available wherever you are and anytime you want at newberrywolves.com. And you know, Paul, it's kind of sad, I guess, the fall sports are kind of coming to an end, but the fact of the matter is that's not it. There's a lot more to go. It's year-round for the most part, almost, at least while the students are in session and all that kind of stuff. But the fact of the matter is We do have a couple of sports we just want to make sure you know about, and that is men's and women's basketball. They are in full tilt. They are going strong. Their start to the season has already begun. So make sure you come on out and really enjoy those games, and they would really appreciate it, especially over the months of December and January. And I know that wrestling, we interviewed Coach Donnie Stevens a bit ago. Men's and women's wrestling, they're going to really kick up in December and into January for folks to enjoy.
Right. So if you're a sports fan, there is sports for you year round. You know, it is a little bit sad that the fall sports are wrapping up. They had good seasons. They all competed heavily. But now it is time to get excited for some of those winter sports. We've done a little bit of coverage on basketball and wrestling so far. We're going to have a lot more of that coming up, specifically in January and February when wrestling picks up. But with the inaugural team, this being the first time we've brought a women's wrestling program here, I know there's a lot of excitement around that. They had their first duel a few weeks back. They packed out the stadiums. People were excited about it, and I really hope they just keep that energy moving forward into the winter.
That's right, and so you can check that out whenever you get come to Eliezer Arena, where they do battle out there, of course, basketball and wrestling as well. And check that composite calendar at Newberry Athletics, again, newberrywolves.com, where you'll keep up with all that action. And, of course, don't forget the spring semester. We'll be right here to keep you informed on what's going on, not only in the world of Newberry Athletics, but the things around Newberry that make this the special place that it is. So stay tuned.
We'll have all of those recaps, all the score updates, and all of those things. And in the meantime, that's all that we have here on this time for this edition of Wolves Weekly. I'm Paul C. Fisher.
And I'm Al Della Chica. Join us next time for more Wolves Weekly.
When you can't get to the game, Wolves Weekly gets all of the excitement of the game to you. Available on Flow Sports and produced by NCTV Newberry.